Well, look what we have here, then. I think we've just been blessed.
Uh-oh. Loghain's men. This can't be good.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about a fellow by this very description? And everyone said they hadn't seen him.
It seems we were lied to.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
Looks like this asshole wants a fight. I'm happy to oblige.
Right, let's make this quick.
All right, you've won. We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
They aim to butcher us. They deserve no mercy.
Please wait!
They have surrendered. They were no match for you. Let them be.
They were gonna kill us, and I aim to kill them.
But they failed, and I do not wish death on anyone.
Fine, then they can take a message to Loghain.
What do you want to tell him?
The Grey Wardens know what really happened.
I'll tell him. Right away, now. Thank you.
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
And who the fuck are you anyway?
Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
What does that all mean?
I joined the Chantry to live a life of religious contemplation. But I am no priest, not even an initiate.
And is there something you wanted from me?
Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
No, those men were mistaken. We're no Grey Wardens.
But... Oh, I see. Of course. Shall we move on, my completely ordinary and unremarkable friend?
And why do you even want to follow me?
The Maker told me to.
Right, I believe this is where we back away slowly.
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
If you feel sorry for these people, why don't you just help them here?
Then what? What happens when the Hold comes? It will follow anywhere we flee until all we know is destroyed.
Gonna need more than just prayers.
I can fight. I can do more than fight. As I said, I was not always a lay sister. I put aside that life when I came here. But now, if it is the Maker's will, I will take it up again. Gladly. Please let me help you.
Okay, fine. It seems that we're kind of low on help here, so we'll take the offer.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down.
You're gonna make more trouble? We've about all we can stand in Lothering now.
I'm not here to make trouble. Just finish it.
Well, those boys were trouble themselves, to tell the truth. Right then, name's Denal. Sorry I can't chat much. As you see, we've a full house.
Those men we fought, who were they?
When Tian Loghain marched by, he left those fellas behind to look for Grey Wardens. I suppose that's you.
Of course not.
Fair enough. What can I get you then?
I'll be going.
Luck speed your way.
You know.
Shokke basit isra, mara de starit, mera de twasit, abana kyun, maras shokra, anannes.
Okay.
You aren't one of my captors. I will not amuse you any more than I have the other humans. Leave me in peace.
Why are you in there?
I'm in a cage, am I not? I've been placed here by the Chantry. I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Kunari peoples.
Kunari?
If you haven't heard of us, that is your own shortcoming. Though it matters little now, I will die soon enough.
This is a proud and powerful creature trapped as prey for the Darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for mercy's sake alone.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
I suggest you leave me to my fate.
What did you do to end up in there?
I have been convicted of murder. Have the villagers not spoken of this?
Did you actually do it?
Are you asking if I feel guilt or if I am responsible for the deed? However I feel, whatever I've done, my life is forfeit now.
Who did you kill?
The people of a farmhold. 8 humans, in addition to the children.
Well, that's fucked.
I agree.
Not interested in making up for what you done?
Death will be my atonement.
So, you want to die?
I would prefer to die in battle, but my choices have been made.
What do you care as long as you're free?
There are greater things than freedom, honor for one.
Would you help defend the land against the Blight?
The Blight? Are you a Grey Warden, then?
Why do you ask?
My people have heard legends of the Grey Warden's strength and skill, though I suppose not every legend is true.
Would the revered mother let you free?
Perhaps if you told her the Grey Wardens need my assistance, it seems as likely to bring my death as waiting here.
I'll go see.
Farewell, then.
A penitent man left to be torn to pieces by Darkspawn. 'Tis a fine example of the Chantry's mercy, is it not?
We done heard what was said. You're a warden. I don't know if you killed King Caelan, and make her forgive me, I don't care. But that bounty on your head could feed a lot of hungry bellies. Attack!
Enemies approaching!
You're making a big mistake. Anything worth looting? Didn't think so. Given how big some game maps are.
Stop looking at me, mongrel. I have nothing you want. Why do you keep staring at me so, you flea-ridden beast? Can you not tell when you are not wanted? I enjoy company of creatures of the wild, not stench-ridden domesticated wolves. And he persists. Maddening!
Yes? What can I do for you now?
I want to talk about Sten, that Kunari you got imprisoned.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
I want him freed. Might have use for him.
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
I was thinking you might release him into my custody.
Your custody? And who might you be?
Grey Warden. Need aid fighting the Darkspawn.
A Grey Warden? Oh dear, I will have to ask you to leave before you bring trouble on our heads.
Let me take the Kunari to fight the Darkspawn.
To defend against the Blight? Perhaps that is a form of atonement. But are you certain you can control him?
If you prefer, I could invoke the right of conscription.
No, I cannot. There will be too much trouble for us if we are seen cooperating with you.
What do you mean?
You have not heard. The Term claims that the Grey Wardens are responsible for the King's death. There is a price on your head. Lay low, and I promise to keep your presence a secret. That is the best I can do. Now, if there is nothing else?
Sten?
Again, we have already discussed this, and I told you I would not release the creature.
Give me the key to the cage, now.
Now we threaten priests. How fun!
Whoa, let's not get out of hand here.
What is the meaning of this? You would threaten me with violence?
Your Reverence, please. We are on an important mission. Let us take the Kunari off your hands, I beg you.
I'm not begging.
And if not, I am to be assaulted. Is this what we have come to?
No, Your Reverence. I will not allow that to happen.
I have more important matters to concern me. Here, take the key to the creature's cage and begone. Do not return.
I won't.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denham in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness does you credit.
I thought you'd like that.
I love the banter in this game.
You wish something more of me?
I got the key for the cage.
I confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it.
What does it matter? You can be free.
Perhaps we have different ideas of freedom.
You certainly can't wish to stay in there, can you?
My death is a small thing, but once the door is opened, do you intend me to follow you?
Depends. How can you help us exactly?
I have been a soldier of the Vanguard all my days. I know much of warfare, and it seems obvious that you need all the help you can get.
That's one way of putting it. As long as you do what I say.
So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight.
Okay, I'll let you out of there.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
And what if I don't lead you to your atonement?
And I will find it myself. May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
No, there's more things that want to die.
As you said. Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
Just how obliged are you exactly?
You want a reward, eh? I suppose that's an entirely reasonable request. How does 100 silver sound? I was going to use that to fix up the cart, but quite frankly, I'll be grateful enough that my son and I come out of this with our heads.
Nah, keep the money. Use it to fix the cart.
Then I suppose we're doubly fortunate, aren't we? The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
I doubt you want to travel with Grey Wardens.
Grey Wardens? My, that does rather explain a lot. No offence, but I suspect there's more excitement on your path than my boy and I can handle. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Occasionally. Ooh. The 71 headpads. Yeah, bad night.
Bad dreams, huh?
Must be something I ate.
Drank more like, as in the tainted blood, remember?
No.
You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
Are these dreams gonna happen a lot?
It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Any other surprises I should know about?
Other than dying young and the whole defeat the Blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprises. Anyhow,
Great.
you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick, at your service once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden? I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Have you been following us?
I can see why you might be suspicious, being a Grey Warden and all. Were I in your shoes, I would feel the same way. Trust me when I say that my encountering you here was serendipity and nothing more. I travel a lot, so I'm bound to meet everyone on the road eventually. If you prefer, I'll take my boy and be on my way. But regretfully, you're the safest spot on this road, without a doubt.
What are you selling exactly?
Anything, everything, but all of the finest quality. No cheap trinkets here. And my boy Sandal happens to be a bit of a hand with enchantments. Oh, yes. Sadly, it also makes us a target for bandits and the like. If there were spare hands to hire as guards, I would have done so long ago.
Let's see your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
Okay, I'm done here. Have a chat with Sten.
Why are we stopping?
Let's just get a few things straight.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
What's your hurry?
What a strange language you speak. You say hurry where I would say duty.
I've never seen a Kunari before. What kind of people are you?
No.
Why not?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
Little hostile, aren't you?
Many humans have said that to me. I do not understand it. If I were indeed hostile, you would be bleeding.
So is this you being calm and helpful?
Couldn't you tell?
You said you were in the army.
I am.
Never fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, human.
What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
Well, the natives don't want to give up their land.
It is not the native humans we fight.
So, who then?
The enemy is everywhere. The jungle itself, vipers, hunting cats, even some of the flowers can kill the unwary. And always there is the Imperium and the Talvashoth.
What are the Talvashoth?
I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
Okay, fine, let's go.
As you wish.
What do you wish of me?
Want to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in those Kokari wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
It's my favorite way of annoying you.
Would it not be easier simply to poke at me with a stick?
How about I use a very large club instead?
No doubt 'tis the only manner you can convince a woman to obey you. Have it your way, then. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For
Good
many
point.
years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
But you kept going back to the wild, didn't you?
Would you not do the same? Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hail from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring. That sounds just like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
I'm supposed to be surprised you're a good liar.
I do not know how well I lie, but I will do whatever I must in order to survive. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Well, was there a lot of bad touching?
At least with that sort of touching, I would have been able to intuit the intent with far greater ease. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes, how to eat at a table, how to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
And yet here you are.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Oh, why, you little...
Are you harassing my dog?
Me? Harassing your dog? I should say it's the other way round. Your furry friend here took offence at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
There's a good boy. Teach Alistair in this. He's a good boy.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
That vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later.
Yep.
I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
Did you, hear voices among that?
No, not voices. It's not so simple. He spoke directly to my soul, in a language no human tongue can express. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
The Chantry says the Maker left us, asshole.
He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
Just make sure what you believe isn't a hindrance.
Maybe I shall not share them with you then.
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Don't listen to Alistair. He's full of shit.
Hey! You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the Coins? Levy the Trader?
I'm Duke Nukem and I've never heard of you.
Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
What exactly did Duncan promise?
Well, as you know, my family's name is mud around noble circles.
My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last warden commander of Ferelden back when the wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Orland banished the wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
That's a bit drastic, isn't it?
And then some. Not much is known about that time. After King Orland died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one. And our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
So what favour did you ask of Duncan?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour.
Never even heard of Soldier's Peak. Where the fuck is it?
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Ireland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour.
And why didn't he help you then?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new wardens and meeting with good King Kaelin. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostergar. Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance.
And will reclaiming the peak help the wardens?
Soldier's Peak is strategic and symbolic importance. Duncan said that it would be worth it right there. He also hoped to recover lost warden history and perhaps a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now.
What do you need from me?
I can pick my way through the tunnels at the base of Soldier's Peak, but the place, well, they say it's haunted, and it'll be dangerous for certain. Will you think on it at least?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
What do you need?
You want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
Good, I don't want you falling apart again.
Don't worry. So long as we're looking at taking down that bastard Loghain, I won't be losing any sleep at night. And thanks for the warm concern. For a moment there, I thought you might actually have cared.
Oh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Can't be any stinkier than what normally goes in there.
I am going to pretend I never heard that. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
Hey, don't do it again. You're a war dog, not a nursemaid. I love the conversations. I'm gonna stay and watch.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Hey, trying to dig through the earth, are you? Hey, goodbye. It's gonna take a while, you know. Yeah, good dog, good dog. Goodbye. Left.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier.
I'm not gonna like this, am I?
I don't know. I doubt it. I've never liked it, that's for sure. Well, let's see. How do I tell you this? We're almost at Redcliff. Did I say how I know Arl Eamon exactly?
Why, you his son?
No, I'm not his son. I'm a bastard. My mother was a serving girl at Redcliff Castle, and she died when I was born. Arl Eamon took me in and raised me before I was sent to the Chantry. The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose.
So you're not just a bastard, you're a royal bastard.
Ha! Yes, I guess it does it, that. I should use that line more often. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I'd never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry.
Does Loghain know?
Why wouldn't he? He was King Maric's best friend. I don't know if that means anything, though. I certainly never considered the idea that it might ever be important. Al Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, despite all the problems it caused with the king so soon after the war. He loved her a great deal. Anyway, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as the Arl's bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
Did she know the truth about you?
She may have, but I think it's more likely that she feared the rumors might be true. I can't blame her for that. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall, and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Owl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there and blamed him for everything. And eventually he just stopped coming.
So that means you're heir to the throne, right?
Let's hope not. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden to boot. It was made very clear to me early on that there was no room for me raising any rebellions or such nonsense. And that's fine by me. Now, if there's an heir to be found, it's Al Eamon himself. He's not of royal blood, but he is Kaelin's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... Oh, no, I don't want to think about that. I really don't. So there you have it. Now, can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens.
That's not really what you think, is it?
No, I suppose not. I don't feel very lucky at all, to be honest.
Wine, wine, wine.
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us?
I'm on important business. I'm here to see Al Eamon.
The Arl? Then you don't know? Has nobody out there heard?
I've heard the Arl is sick, if that's what you mean.
He could be dead for all we know. Nobody's heard from the castle in days. We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Apparently everyone seems to agree that a blight is the perfect time to start killing each other. Marvelous, really.
We've no army to defend us. No Arl and no king to send us help. So many are dead. And those left are terrified they're next.
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does. I should take you to Ban Tegan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Ban Tegan, Al Eamon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far, if you'll come with me.
Oh, great. What is this shit we're gonna have to deal with?